flashing green. Gamestop's price, a sight unseen. $22, what a steal. This bargain's got me all a-squeal. Can't get enough, can't get enough. Gamestop stock, it's hot stuff. Price so low, it's criminal. But cash pile high, it's pivotal. Ticker tape and flashing screens. A year ago, just pipe dreams. Now we're riding high. Can't you see this company's destiny? Laughs and sneers have turned to cheers as balance sheets allay our fears. Cash registers ring with glee. GameStop's future plain to see. Glitch and beat, the market sings of all the wealth this stock could bring. From doubters' jeers to bulls' applause, GameStop breaks all market laws. Can't get enough, can't get enough. GameStop stock, get its hot stuff. Price so low, it's criminal. But cash pile high, it's pivotal. Bitcoin's falling, screens are flashing red. Panic sellers losing what they've bled. But I'm not running, I won't lose my head. Standing tall while others flee instead. All lightworkers cry their hearts out loud. Unrealized loss is a fearful crowd. But I'm not joining their hysterical sound. I'll ride this wave and stay unbound. I'm going against the grain. Won't let that panic be my chain. When others sell, I remain in this financial hurricane. Don't follow blindly, think for yourself. Your strategy's not found on a shelf. Be the outlier, break from the norm. Weather this crypto storm. Assignment clear, my design is set. I'm not a sheep in this betting bed. While they're all fleeing, I'll double down. Opportunity wears volatility's crown. The crowd runs wild, but I stand my ground. In chaos, true wisdom can be found. I'm going against the rain. Won't let that panic be Gold is on the move again, and the big question is why? And the answer is nobody knows. It is, after all, just a word.
Alright. Sorry about that. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Manuel. What's up? Hope you enjoy the music there. So today, not much, you guys. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here for. I'm gonna shoot for about 2 hours. That's my limit, actually. We will see. Oh my goodness, what a week has it been. For GameStop, we know what's happening. Not much there. Price actions very, very tame, very calm, which I really like it. That means that you could accumulate more if you wanted to. Oh wait, let me switch to the screen here. Keep forgetting to do that. Oh good, perfect. Yeah, it's AI. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've been having fun with that. So yeah, more to come. As I think about like the biggest hit ever. Who knows? One of these days. I got my coffee. Hope everybody's doing well. But anyway, so yesterday trading was not much there. You see the doji candle. It's crazy, you guys. Like, what the hell is this kind of trading? Either nobody's trading the stock, which is great, right? Or they're just like, try to keep it down. Who knows? I don't know if it's like a algorithm. At this point in time, I know it's algorithm, but I have no proof, obviously. But it's one of the candle or I was watching actually had the biggest volume to that, but there's no price action. Apparently people just at that instant they buy and sell, or somebody just execute the contract at that moment in time. Who knows? I don't know. I was just asking one of my friend there, and he was saying that, so I don't know. I mean, it seems like he knows a lot more than me in that instant, but I don't. Honestly, I'm just like speculating at this point in time to see. Hold on, you guys. Let me turn on the volume here. I mean, I'm trying to look for the volume. I used to have that one. Okay, perfect. Oh, it doesn't show here. That's crazy. Hold on. I'm looking for. Huh. Maybe this is the one that I was looking at. It was a 1 minute candle and it was like 800 shares or something like that. But it doesn't show here. That's curious. Hold on, you guys. This is not cool. Because I was looking at Weibo. That's insanity that it doesn't show there. I'm trying to look for the time here. It was around 13:05. No, 13:10. 13:10. Oh wait, this, I think the time is different here. Maybe this is central. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to look for this. So this is the day. Somewhere around here. So yeah, it doesn't show the same way. That's insane. If you guys have Weibo account, go look around this candle right here. So is the market that fragmented that it doesn't show on every single exchange? Yeah, which confirmed to me it's probably still. Why does Weibo show different volume spike than TradingView? Yeah, the market is broken, especially for this stock for sure. But anyway, you compare it for yourself. If you have Weibo account, go to Gamestop and look at the chart for yourself. You verify it for yourself. But anyway, maybe the feed is not live, or maybe tomorrow it would show differently. But then, that's my whole point. It's like, is the market really that broken for this stock anyway? It's insane, right? But anyway, it is what it is. That's what we have right now. What can we do? We have to work with the system that we have. And so, yeah, no wonder. I mean, people have been talking about how it's being rigged for a long time, and nobody really listened until it's too late to change anything now. Okay, all right. So now you're left with, okay, somebody knows some information that you don't know. And so you have to trust them to tell you that's the number that you got, which is not a free market anyway, because whoever get the most information, the quickest information, they get to trade before you. Anyway, sorry. Oh, earnings prediction. I don't know. You tell me, what is your prediction, Manuel? I think your guess is as good as mine. I am very optimistic for this earnings report for sure. I think that well, okay, tell me what your prediction is, and then I'll tell you mine. Okay, as you type in that, let me talk about the job report real quick. Okay, what the hell is going on? Do we really trust this number coming out of any type of data gathering? Apparently, they could do something in real time, and they have the technology to record every move. But for some reason, they don't know what the job number really is. It's hard to believe. I mean, I don't know. Again, are we that siloed to the point where we're there has to be a better way to come up with these type of job data in order to react as quickly as possible. Because since the Fed always said, well, we're data dependent. Well, now, back in June, we didn't have the job that was said that we had when it was reported at that time. So you're lagging by 3 months worth of, whatever data that is so dependent on the, lowering or rate and all that stuff. So again, they always reacting too late to the game. The same way when they were supposed to be raising the rate 3 months ago, 3 years ago, because the inflation was going to run crazy, run hot, but they didn't have the guts to do that, because the stock market would have crashed, right? And oh no, we can't have that happen. What the hell? Anyway, no wonder we're struggling right now, and the people up top, they're gonna get bailed out for sure, and the only person that's struggling are consumer people. Don't have any money to spend and all that stuff. But again, that's besides the point. The reason why I bring this up is because something has to be done. Now, as long as you position yourself the best way, I feel sorry for people to, say this insensitively, because not everybody are in the same position as I am, obviously. And so I'm not saying this lightly. Of course, like, if you listen to a lot of people complaining about price increase and all that stuff, and again, the fact that people are complaining and people are not listening and they're just like mindlessly saying, well, you should have positioned yourself correctly. And even saying that, make me feel like bad. Although I'm suffering too. Because of the high costs and all that stuff. But again, it's then the economy is not doing well. If the majority of the people don't have the money to spend. So I know, I get it. It's going to be good for some folks out there who've been positioning themselves the correct way for the last 3 years or so, right? Which that's why, I think GME leadership has been doing that for the past 3 years. And now we're ready to reap the benefit. Of course, not quite yet. The market hasn't crashed to the point where, people are panicking everywhere. But there's no signal there. You gotta be prepared for that, which we have been doing that already. So it's refreshing for sure to have the leadership that is, way ahead of his time, in the sense that, hey, I'm sure leadership probably predicted that was going to happen. They might not know at what point it was going to get to this point, but the trend was trending this way, where, people are not going to have money to spend. And so that's why cutting costs was the pivotal moment in time at that time, when people are not appreciating the leadership to do, And again, like, even till these days, people don't even give them credit for that. And they'll they'll give them credit 3 years from now, I feel, And so that's why I'm saying, like, people need to, stop listening to these people who giving you their own opinion anyway on what to do. And of course, like, because these people are telling you to, the economy is actually doing this and that, you need to look at the raw data yourself and trying to come up with your own conclusion. I know it's pretty hard to do because you're like, well, we're trusting this economist and all that stuff. But keep in mind, they are biased in their own, world as well. Because the academics out there, they only see papers and, it's like numbers to them. They don't actually see the struggle that their policy, whatever policy that they come up with to try to stimulate the economy, that it's not, fast enough to help people who are in need, right? So, but anyway, with this big, beautiful bill and, the fact that the farmers are now, we see the ramification here, tariffs and all that stuff too. And so, within this past, 6 months since he's been in the office, hasn't been doing much for the economy. So, but that could be, again, because of decades of neglect of, working class and all that stuff. They just, they didn't want to fix it until it's too late for them to fix. And then they get to blame it on somebody else rather than their failed policy, right? And it's been like that, you guys, like, because we're all keeping the mode of survival. We don't get to think for ourselves that much. So we're typically looking for other people, to tell us what to do sometimes. So again, that's to our own detriment. But I hope people, get to wake up a little bit here. But anyway, that's my rant. Let's go back to this real quick. Gamestop, yeah, addiction. Less revenue, bigger profits. Okay, yeah. I mean, wouldn't that be a better situation than more revenue, less profits, in this environment? I'll take that. I hope we beat the revenue though. Oh my gosh. Like, even if we beat just 1%, can you imagine that? What is the estimate that these people tell you? Okay, so $900 million. That's we could beat that. We could beat that. I have faith. Huge one. Yeah. I feel like if we get $1 billion, oh man, that's a pipe dream, right? But again, guys, even if we're like low on revenue, like $800 million, for example, okay, 800 million, but we get to keep $100 million on that. But again, 100 million, people are gonna be like, oh my gosh. I'm talking about like operational here, you guys. I'm not even counting the interest, because apparently that's not real income according to some people. It's like, well, they need to make money from the actual business. Bullcrap. Money is money. Hold on. Let me try to figure out what they're saying. So 19 cents for, again, this is roughly, you guys, roughly. Okay, so they're saying we are going to make $80 million. That's net income, right? $85 million. Is that not money? Like, what is this? What is this? It's like, is that like, that's a lot of money, you guys. Oh, mind-boggling to me, right? Mind-boggling. Now, okay, so we have $9 billion. So just interest alone, you guys, I feel like we could cover this. The last time, well, let's take a look at it. The last time we were able to rack up for quarter 50 something million just on interest payment alone, interest income. Net income. Wait, am I tripping? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Oh. So that was on $6 billion, right? When did we raise the cash? Hold on, you guys. Give me 1 second here. I am trying to look at my sheet. Okay, perfect. So we have this going on. God, crazy. Okay. So we've been keeping track, right? So, I wish I have the date on here. But we had the additional $2.7 billion on the convertible notes, additional ones that we had. So again, keep in mind, this is zero interest, okay? This is not really real debt, but this particular earnings report that we see right here only accounted for these assets, okay? So technically, we have about, I would say, minus the BTC, right? I would say $6 billion, okay? So $6 billion. So that's on $6 billion, less than 1%. Am I doing this right? So if we have, I think, again, based on what I saw, it was like $8 billion. This is the most recent update, okay, you guys. Why did I have 8 billion? Well, there was some guy posting on I guess they could keep track of JP Morgan mutual fund or something like that pays 4.75%, and apparently GameStop owned 10% of that. So that's how we figure out $8 billion was in that. Okay. So, which is payment alone. So let's just calculate that. And again, this is a year. So 8 billion. 8 billion times divided by 4 quarters. Oh, okay, that's per quarter. Am I tripping? This is per quarter, just on the interest payment on 8 billion, assuming that they're not doing anything with the cash. Okay? And I know people are gonna pull their hair out, like, they're not doing anything with the cash. Look at the world around you. Okay? Don't be crazy. Okay? I mean, people are just not even moving anywhere. Even the Federal Reserve is afraid to move anywhere. So how can you, blame CEO who trying to make, their shareholder whole in some way? And I mean, listen to Ryan Cohen interview. You could say for a fact that he's not going to lose shareholder equity or shareholder value because he's conservative. Okay, maybe too conservative to some people's eyes because they want Ryan Cohen to use that money right away. For what? It's like, okay, to create value. What are you gonna put your money in right now? Even Warren Buffett has more money than in the history of his, company. So he's preparing for something. Of course, he bought some, but not meaningful enough to be like, alarming about like how, now is the opportunity to deploy that cash. The opportunity everywhere right now is skewed by the turmoil that is happening in the trade war, happening in the inflationary environment in which, money is just slushing everywhere because they print too much. And now they're trying to put the genie back in the bottle the best way they can. But again, there's going to be so much damage in that. And so you got to wait for the dust to settle for you to move clearly, directionally to where you want to move the company. But in the meantime, though, we're not burning cash. That's the most important thing, right? You don't want to lose billions and billions of dollars because you're too quick into doing something, right? Remember the NFT and all that stuff? People give them flack about how they're spending so much money, like 200 and something million dollars, and they get flagged anyway. And so, damn if you do, damn if you don't type thing. And so right now the approach is, let's just save the money, okay? Get 4%. I know 4% is like less than the inflation, but at the very least, they are so liquid to the point where they could do anything, including nothing. Okay. So the option is there for sure. But again, so just the interest payment alone, you guys, we got $95 million. And so we're going to beat that, earnings per share for sure, like with flying colors. Now, the biggest part is I feel like if you look at the different one, sorry. The thing that I want them to beat is this one right here, right? We want to see, how much money they actually bring in operationally based on the business size of things, right? And again, that's a misconception for people to like only think about the business. Well, what does the business bring? Well, again, they have a massive amount of cash and a small business. Yes, the cash they got was from raising funds, okay, when the time is good. Okay, like Marantz was saying, what is it? The best time to raise money is when people want your shares, right? The best time to raise money is not when people are just like, no, I don't have money to give you, right? So the fact that they have a good enough balance sheets, okay, for them to raise how much? Billions of dollars, okay? Right? I mean, look at this. How are you raise money. It's like, well, you're diluting shareholders. Okay. If you don't dilute shareholder, then how much money would you think that they have right now? They wouldn't. They wouldn't have this much money right now to deploy to get even more money when the time is good, right? Or when the time is bad. Sorry, that's because bad time comes when people needs cash. Cash is king during, the crash. And so we're due for one. We just don't know when. The bubble is just way too large. Apparently there's more air into the bubble. So who knows? Maybe we might need more cash. So don't be surprised if there is more I would say, ATM or some sort of some sort of dilution coming again. And I don't mind. Like, go ahead, take it. Let leadership, make sure that we have enough cash to make even more money, sitting just on cash alone for now, right? 4% is pretty substantial to try to build off of that, and the compounded interest that people are gonna experience is look at this from 50, okay, from 50 to now 90, 95. Am I doing the right math here? Let me do it again, just in case I'm wrong. So that's $8 billion. It's probably like some change too. And then 4 point something percent. This is per year. Okay, this is per year divided by 4, which is per quarter. Yeah, so 95 alone. So with just interest payment alone, we're gonna beat the 19 cents. 19 cents. I think the reason why they don't, account for the interest rate is that it's temporarily. Interest rate could change anytime. I think that's probably why they do that. And so the 19 cents is more like the operational thing, right? But that's not how you account, because on net alone, right? The earnings per share is net income included. So it's all net. That's how you calculate it. So it doesn't make sense for them not to include it, So we had some asset write down, right? So we had some loss there, but guys, this is just a one-time thing, right? A one-time. I think we were selling, international branch out there. And with this particular second quarter, we're going to see the Canada and the French one. So we might have some asset write down then too for this particular earnings report. And then it's just a one-time thing. So now we're just going to be domestically in the US for now. Doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to expand later on, okay, to the international market. It's just that right now it's not the time to do that. Can you imagine if we still have, the international and all that stuff with this conversion rate of, the dollars going stronger now, the dollars begin to diminishing, but compared to other currency, other country, we're doing much better than other country, okay? So again, that's why in relative term, dollars has been, stronger in that sense. Because we have the power of just printing money at will. Like, of course. But if you measure against Bitcoin, right, or gold, right? Gold right now is going crazy. Even silver is going crazy. What happened? Because people are just in the time of uncertainty, right? That the trust is eroded. So even central banks are buying more golds and to try to hedge their way out of this money debasement type thing. So and when people are like, well, Bitcoin is measuring in talking about Bitcoin measuring in dollar, like everything is measuring in dollar. Gold is measuring in dollars. So what's the point? The point is that dollar, when measuring over time against Bitcoin, Bitcoin is going to go higher in price because it takes more dollar to chase after a fixed asset. So yes, it's gonna trade based on like the Nasdaq and all that stuff, Russell 2000 or whatever. So if the economy is doing well, Bitcoin's gonna kind of trade based on that. But over time, when it grows faster than any other asset class in the world, including the S&P 500. So yeah, that's why Bitcoin is I guess you don't fall asleep on Bitcoin. You shouldn't anyway. And cryptocurrency in general, obviously. But of course, there's different camp here. People who are Bitcoin maxi, they only look at Bitcoin and they think that Bitcoin is the only asset class that matters for them, which is fine. I mean, like, look, it's a free country, right? So until it's not, it's crazy. But anyway, with other tokenization news type thing too, I think it's brewing in the background. The whole narrative of tokenization really comes from Larry Fink, the Black Rock, not Blackstone, Black Rock CEO. And he really kind of pioneered that. And of course, they're positioning themselves. Like if you look at the narrative right now, that crypto is the safety, flight to safety. Bitcoin is the digital gold. Other blockchain, whatever innovation is all about tokenization, right? So eventually they're gonna try to have that 24 hours, just like how crypto is trading 24 hours. So eventually all the stocks in the world is going to be trading 24 hours in the next 10 years or so. You're gonna see a totally different world. So if you fall asleep on Bitcoin and blockchain, you're just gonna be left behind. But again, even right now, at this moment in time, you're still early into this, industry. I'm not saying it's gonna be rosy from here. Yes, it might crash, to whatever level you think it's going to go to. I really think that it's not going to crash that steep. I don't think it's gonna fall down to this level here. But anything could happen, you guys. Like if the S&P 500 corrected 30% in a day, people are gonna freak out. But for people who have the money, like GameStop, for example, why would you freak out? You get to buy asset at a lower price. Crazy, right? People, you need to zoom out. Hold on. Why am I? What is this floating thingy? I meant to the previous high or last cycle. So even if it drops right from here to the previous cycle, you're never gonna get down to that because people are just gonna buy it up. Like MicroStrategy, for example, people are gonna be like, "Oh, MicroStrategy is going to liquidate, sell their Bitcoin," No, they just have to wait. They could just hold their what is it called? hold on for the next year, or raise enough money just to survive for the next year operationally, which is not that much, to operate a treasury. What's it, operational expenses for MSTR? So right here, they just need enough to offset this right here. Yeah, and they have their prefer stock too, where it's perpetual. It's only 10% every year for every dollar that comes in. They only have to pay 10 cents per year. So technically, they have more than enough to survive for a whole year. Now, if Bitcoin's gonna go down to $10,000, then yeah, there might be some some panicking. For it has to stay at that price for the next 10 years, though, right? For MSDR to be like scrap or cash, but with the global connection, with the all the money in the world, I don't think it's gonna happen blink of an eye, right? Unless they deleveraging everything, deflationary event to the magnitude of everybody get a haircut of like just 50% gone of your wealth, which it's hard to imagine that the Federal Reserve is going to do that. And the only way that would happen is if they raise the rate to like 10% in a day, right? So I don't know. It's hard to imagine that scenario because I don't think it could happen. Because they're just gonna keep kicking the can down the road until they couldn't anymore. Right? So they will always have solution to everything, and now they already have a withdrawal limit. So they already put I guess like in Europe, you could only withdraw $3,000 a day from the bank. So yeah, capital limit. That's their solution right now. So it's not far-fetched that the Bank of the US is not going to do the same. But yeah, for most people, $3,000 a day, like that's more than enough to cover everyone needs. Okay. And yeah, so I know we're gonna have solution for it, but anyway, so my point is for MSDR to liquidate their holdings, which is $70 billion so far for to Bitcoin. They don't need to sell it if Bitcoin goes down to $10,000 immediately. All they have to do is just not spend their preferred unit or whatever. If they could raise enough cash for that. But their preferred units too is going to go up in terms of rates. Okay, so it's kind of inverse relationship here. I think, but yeah, I mean the mechanism is there to protect them from that downside. I know people are freaking out because they're like, oh look, the value of my quote unquote, the value of this stock is going down. So if this goes down, let's say, Bitcoin goes down to this level here, this is going to become so attractive. Okay. For every unit that you have from down here, you're going to get $10 a year from this. So I know it's going to be scary for most people if they're in Bitcoin, right? Or in MSDR, but that's the risk that the MSDR shareholder signed up for. When you buy into MSDR, that's the risk. Any type of stock, even GME too, right? You get that risk on you. Like, there's no guarantee of return, and that's why it's not a Ponzi scheme. Like, it's not Ponzi because they don't guarantee that you're gonna, get your 10%. And the risk is, you losing the value that you're holding, whether you're buying the stock or preferred share, because the preferred share value derived from MSDR, doing well. And Bitcoin, not MSDR. So MSDR is like on the top here, right? And then Bitcoin is the economic engine for MSDR to go higher. So for MSDR to suffer, shareholder to suffer, Bitcoin has to go down, dramatically. That people all around the world is not going to trust Bitcoin as a decentralized platform anymore. So anything that is compromising this decentralization, network effect here. But like I said, it takes 20 years to convince people, close to 20 years, since 2009, to convince people that this is a decentralization point of view. So it's going to take probably the same amount of years to convince people not to trust it. Right? I don't know. I'm not technical enough to know what to trust at this moment. But hey, if Jack Dorsey trusted, then in my opinion, I think a lot of folks from the tech bros. But think about this too. Like, if the government hates it and they want to shut it down, and if they couldn't do it for the last 20 years, what do you think? It's probably not going to happen. So we might as well join it. If you can't fight it, you have to join it, right? So, but anyways, even like states now, they've been passing legislation left and right to try to get you into the game and all that stuff on Bitcoin. So I don't think that the risk of institutional adoption is not there. And so they found a way to make money off of this, obviously. Now, for people who are early, realizing that the value proposition for MSDR and Bitcoin, they're gonna get to reap the benefit, just like how people were able to reap the benefit over here when MSDR didn't have I guess the same power to raise money, based on their balance sheets and all that stuff. So again, the same exact thing is happening in GME too. I'm not talking about the company, the same thing, like Treasury or not. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the ability for any company to raise money, okay, at that given moment in time. And they just ramp up their ATMs and preferred shares and all that stuff over here, because they had the ability to. Over here, they didn't have the ability to, right? And how can you blame them? Because the perceived risk back here was higher. And so people are naturally more scared, right, to put their money in there because they didn't know what Bitcoin is going to do. Administration was very hostile to the, to Bitcoiner in general. People were debanking, left and right because you have Bitcoin, and stuff like that. So it's more like a shadow ban on crypto, in that sense. But again, we come a long ways. And so for people who've been holding at this level, they get to reap the benefit there. So that's the risk, right? Risk, high reward. And they got rewarded, right? Now, even at this point in time, there's some associated risk here still, MSDR might not be able to, pay what they are promising, which is, whatever the preferred share was able to accumulate. And that the balance sheets might not be able to support, the future interest payment or whatever. But whatever the perceived risk here is, if you're buying MSDR, you are risking, whatever. But if Bitcoin going higher, growing faster than the 10% a year, then MSDR shareholders gonna reap the benefit. Okay, so risky, but that's like, if you don't understand that mechanism, that's why people are scared. That's why people say, well, why would I buy MSDR if I could just buy Bitcoin? Well, most people don't have that risk tolerance, right? But they might still want to expose to Bitcoin. And so, with the preferred share, you meet everybody at that level, at whatever risk that they are able to tolerate, right? Perceived risk anyway, right? So whether it's risky, the actual risk or not, that's up to the free market to decide, right? Or the individual, whoever buy into this or not. The same way with GME. Same exact thing, you guys. What the heck? There is a perceived risk here, right? People think that this is risky, right? I don't think so. Why? Because they have more cash, right? $9 billion in cash. That's risky. You buying into cash, and that's risky. For every dollar that you buy into GME, 90% of that is cash. So you're only technically risking, 10 cents for every dollar you buying into this company. So again, that's a steal. That's a steal for sure. Isn't that Warren Buffett was the one who said, like, if you could find a company that has 50% of their equity in cash, that's like 50% off of the company. So if you think of it in that term, that means you're getting 90% discount here for GameStop. Now, of course, again, the perceived reward for this company is because they are skewed in only measuring GameStop as a retail company, right? As if now, at this moment in time. Okay, that's why the estimate is so low for this company. And it's all perception, you guys. Everything, like, business doesn't stay stagnant. That's what I don't get, that these people, when they make, business could go down, business could go up, right? Based on what leadership is doing. So just because the business is good 10 years ago doesn't mean that it's going to be good today. Okay. There's a recency bias in that evaluation that I see people oftentimes, it's like, oh, Nvidia is the best, right? Or Apple is the best because it's been good for the last 20 years. Okay, great. Go ahead, still put money there, right? Because apparently it's not gonna, go anywhere. Okay, I mean, the perceived reward has already been rewarded. The people that have been, investing for the last 20 years, right? And so now the perceived reward for GameStop shareholder at this moment in time is that we're just doing it because of the cultish behavior, right? And it's like far from the truth. Of course, that's the narrative. That's fine. Whatever. I mean, I actually like that narrative because that means I'm so early into this company, right? Way too early. I thought I was like, kind of late into the game actually, but actually I'm pretty early. I might be the minority here in that sense, but that's perception at the moment based on you know based on the price action at the moment. Now, I saw the documentary that Marantz was doing the what is it, the reaction video to, and it's crazy to the point where I'm thinking, okay, every single time when we about to, you know the value of this company, the increase or decrease or whatever, this earnings report's gonna tell us. There's been a concerted effort to, bring out all of the negativity. And the one point that I was like, kind of like noticing is that the documentary is only going after the investor now. They don't even like have anything to go after the company anymore, right? So they moved the goalpost, which is a good thing, right? And so that the only thing that they could attack this company now is the investor itself, saying that we're just what is it? Doing it to squeeze the institution, doing it to because of a cult, because we worship Brian Cohen, whatever, a devotee of some sort. Like, look, I love leadership doesn't mean that I'm worshiping him. Like if he goes out and buy a Lamborghini or a private jet for the company tomorrow, I would call him out on it. It's like, why do you need private jet for? For the company for, right? So he's not doing that. He's not, doing stupid shit like that, or splash it on some company that doesn't make money, right? And you have to evaluate that company. Why is he buying that company? Is it because his brother-in-law owns it, right? So stuff like that you have to evaluate. But my point is, all the documentary is just attacking the investor, and that's all they have. Like, no longer about the company, which is a good thing because they can't find anything else to attack the company. And then also too, they attack leadership, like saying, "Oh, he's just like a hedge fund. He's just a rich boy who craving for attention." It's like, what the fuck? And anything that they want to say, it's just so ridiculously. To me, it's funny. Because I know Ryan Cohen has been working hard, and he's far from what these people are telling, the audience out there. And of course, like if you don't know anything about the leadership, right, you would think that, right? It's easy for people to make that snap judgment because he's a billionaire, right? And because again, like just the cultural shift now that we've been kind of very it's a controversial topic, apparently. Some people really love billionaires, like kissing every single, oh, they must be smart. And then some people are, hates the billionaire because they have so much money, right? Without thinking about, okay, how did this person make money, right? I support Ryan Cohen, how he come to become a billionaire, because he actually doing it the right way, right? He's not scamming anyone, right? He's building a company from the ground up, right? Whatever advantages that he had at that point in time, his father was a business owner too, but he wasn't like billions of dollars, right? He was like a glassware type thing, but he took after his dad. And he didn't go to college. He knew what he wanted as a, young person. He built a website. He tried to do this and this, try to succeed. He knew that that's what he wanted to do, is to be an entrepreneur. That's why he didn't go to college. So he spent most of his time to try to build his business. That's a good thing. That's like the American like story, right? That's what people want to. Like that's capitalism 101, the right way. You're not scamming anyone. And then he sold the business, to the bigger business who want that business. Right? So that's again, what? All of a sudden he's like, trust fund babies? People. And again, that's why when you listen to people complaining and that you don't really know leadership to that extent, I get it. It's easy to make snap judgment. I do it the same. I do that too, to some people, that I don't know anything about, and that's why I try not to, judge people based on either their appearance or anything. Right? My point is, we all have struggle in life. Okay, yes, the billionaires are not they're not financially struggling per se, but they're struggling with their moral compass, I feel. So with Ryan Cohen, I feel like his moral is in the right place. Okay. He might be, lack in some place because I don't know enough about this guy to, to judge him on that area of expertise there or area of life. I'm only outsider looking in. And the way that he operates the business makes sense to me, right? Not flashy. And he's not coming out and say, we're going to make $10 trillion tomorrow, right? We're going to be able to do this and that. Like, that's what we're becoming, as a society. We only care about hype. It's like any company at all. It's like, well, you know what? We're going to spend $10 trillion and we're going to do this for the people without even knowing any strategy. Nothing. Like, how do you get to $10 trillion? It's like, well, we're just going to make this software to try to take people's job. AI. It's going to increase productivity for everyone. Okay, well, people are not having jobs. Like, who is have enough money to buy into your, product? I mean, people can barely, put food on their table. How can we buy those gadgets that, these AI supposedly going to create for the world here? So that's the problem that we have, is that we have this bubble that is so big that you have to grow the population 10 times to, as we are right now, like to get the demand going. The real demand is not there, you guys. Like, don't be crazy. Unless, again, AI is going to, spawn into some new industry out there, that I don't know about. Perhaps, who knows. But it's kind of scary, though. Like, when you listen to, like, people getting scammed by these AI robots, scary. And now, too, it's like, you have this AI where they get to record your voice and pretending to be you and all that. Crazy. I don't know. I'm hesitant to, like, be on live now, I feel like, because they could technically, imitate to be you. So, and again, that's why I don't want to put my face out there to associate my voice with this and all. It's crazy, But yeah, that's the world we're living in right now, and people are using those tools, like even my, AI song generator too. Technically, I could use my voice to sing the song. I mean, it's not as good. I tried, but man, it's cringe worthy. Why I don't put it out there? But my whole point is that that copy and paste society has been eroding. I don't know. Again, to me, social media has kind of bred a different type of human interaction here. That people are not, you know, real anymore. It seems because they could stay, you know, behind something. And again, like some people are scared, like me. I'm scared to put my face out there because of this type of thing. Of course, I'm always paranoid, so it's like nothing changed there. Nothing changed. Why am I going to that tangent? All right. Congratulations if you're still here. You might win some prize here if you stay till the end. We'll see. I don't know. A new song dedicated to you if you stay till the end. Let me see. Price prediction. I don't have one. I don't have one. Typically, again, like, man, you guys, there's like this support level here. Okay, if you want to go crazy, bet up and down, do that. I do have a couple of contracts now for June of next year. A little bit of a leap here. I'm giving myself some time, but I'm buying the $20 strike price. I'm planning to sell, as quickly as possible. You guys, I'm not holding on to any call contract here, so I still have my shares, my moon back, so to speak. So yeah, I'm still positioning. I'm not selling any cover call right now at this moment. Just have a call, buy calls, have some contracts. So, but again, I'm not planning to hold this for a long time. But yeah, so as far as like my regular moon back, which is, I know I have to like beep. So yeah, I have these bags still intact. I do trade some, again, this is my I guess to try to beat the market, right? Isn't that what people do? That's why you pick individual stocks instead of like index funds out there. But yeah, so that's my holding. Eventually, of course, I want to get this up from. My goal is to try to get this up to 1,000. That's my goal. Might not happen though, but we'll see. At the moment, I'm kind of shape it so that I could get some crypto and all that stuff because I think like the yield is, sorry, the rate of change going higher in terms of percentage for now. On Monday, though, I don't know. Depends on how good the report is. I might, come back to GameStop instead of crypto for now. Just for that time period, of course, I still have not decided yet. We'll see. But yeah, as far as like these two are still intact. Actually, let me move this over here so it's pretty cool. And again, this is just me dividing the strategy so that I'm not bored. Right? I'm pretty bored now. Like my personality is like, if I'm not moving places in terms of stocks, right? Keep me interested for sure. But yeah, long term, That's why I do it this way, so that I don't touch this and then touch this forever until the end of time. And then I don't touch this until I reach my price target, which is like a lot higher than most people. And again, I have like 30 years, okay, to touch this. So if it takes me 30 years just to hold to GameStop until it hit $1,000 a share, I mean, most people can't even get $1 million in 30 years. Come on. That's my whole logic, obviously. But by 30 years, obviously, I might up this. About like every 10 years, I'm gonna get 1,000 shares worth of GameStop. Hopefully. Not sure where I'm gonna get the money from though. Anyway, so that is that. I guess there was some activity from Roaring Kitty. Who knows if he's gonna come back? But again, we don't actually need him, but we low key kind of need him a little bit here. No, just the stock price, you guys. Like the company in of itself, we don't need Roaring Kitty for the companies to do well. No, we just want the share price to, I guess, reflect what the good work has been done for the last 3 years. Okay, that's it. And so, if all of the people who are attacking GameStop shareholder as these meme traders, right? And again, that's to their own detriment if that's what they think, because number one, you are underestimate, people, loyalty to the company. Okay, yes, loyalty to the leadership. We trust leadership to do the right thing for us. That's why we're investing in it. Okay, we're not based on hype or anything. Hype is fun. Yes, I get it. But that's not why we're investing in it. So if you think it's just a meme traders, that's your own detriment because you guess wrong. You're wrong. You have a wrong assessment on this company in and of itself. And that's why all the institutions are accumulating it quietly while they tell you that it is only retail, or it's only people who are just here for the short term, right? That's why, again, this type of percentage is gonna tell you otherwise. Okay, so I know Tony De Niro is gonna be like, well, just because institutions are buying into GameStop doesn't mean anything. They're probably just buying it to sell it. It's like, okay, well, they're buying it now. Sell it at what price do you think? They haven't sold anything yet. Maybe they buy it to sell it at 30. Okay, in which case, they're still in profit, right? So, in which case, they think that it's going to go to $30, right? There are people who think that Jimmy will never exceed $30. Okay, we'll see that. We'll see. We'll see if that will be true in the earnings report. And even then, look at this. Short interest is still high. I know people are like, well, it's not that high because it used to be 100%. This is high, you guys. Okay. This is high. In a company that's not even burning cash, right? Think about this. 16% of these people still think that the company is bankrupt. Right? Or the company is overvalued at this price point. Okay, let them think that. They'll find out. Imagine this earnings report is going to cost some of these people, like even just 5% of these people closing their position because they're like, oh, okay, then these people would have to buy GameStop at a higher price than when they bought it for. They bought their position for. Who knows how long has they been shorting this company? You know, they might have shorted back in $30 a share. So technically they're still in profit. But for them to take the profit, right, they have to close their position for them to take their profit. So if you think of it that way, yeah, they need to close their position before the price go higher than $30. And don't get me wrong, there will be not just institution, you guys, retailers, like people who are just hating on this stock left and right, they will add on to that fuel too. So this short interest is probably, it's not going to stay stagnant, okay? So people who want to short this company, it's easy for them to do that, right? Because if your brokerage allow you to do shorting, you are liable for any loss that occur in your account. So if you're dumb enough to do that, go right ahead. You're welcome to short some more. Or hey, you might make money. Who knows, right? You might make the most that you could make is $22. This stock might go to zero, you guys. Huh? Right? I mean, based on what is this guy? What Bush? Okay. $13. Yeah. You might make $13 a share. So do it. Do it. No, I'm just taunting you guys. It's okay. You know, shorters has been apparently making tons of money, right? They're smarter. They're smarter than all of us investor out here. So let them be smart. All it is, you guys, like, we've been underestimated for a long time. And so, with all of the development in the company, I don't see why they would need to double down on their stupidity, but there are people who are doubling down on their stupidity right now, because they know that it's easily, steering people out of GME to get into these type of company. Look at it, 11% a day, right? And people are going to be falling for this for sure. They're going to be like, oh, I make more money on open than any. It's like, okay, go ahead and make your money. It's okay. I mean, do it. And if you think, if you can catch at the bottom, right? Go ahead, make your money. But look at this. Don't be scammed into thinking that it's the same thing. Okay. And it worked for them, I'm sure. This is the reason why they do it. They pay people, influencer, to try to get you to invest in this type of company, thinking that it's the same thing. And they loop AMC, GME, Open, memes, Redditor, all of that together just to muddle the water, saying that GME is the same. But the more they do that, the more, people will find out the truth. Like, I know my channel, it's not gonna be promoted on, the algorithm space. That's why my channel has never increased in subscriber. Or it could just be due to my own delivery and all that stuff, which is fine. It is what it is. I'm not, all hyped up and, like most people. But it's okay, To me, it's like an engagement too, because if not enough people, real people here, I'm talking about real people, promote this type of content, that means that this is why GME has not picked up that popularity yet. And to me, for long-term shareholder, investor, people who are trying to accumulate at a low price, it's a good thing for them. It's a good thing for me. And so, you don't want your, if you strike gold, right? I think I heard Moran said that. if you strike oil, sorry, if you strike oil, you don't go wave around. Hey, look, oil is here, so that people are drilling, next to you. You want to be quiet, and accumulate as much as you can before the rest of the world, see the true value of this company. Right now, it's all memes, it's all this and that, and then they muddle the water and saying that, oh, um, GME is dead, and this is a new meme now. Open Door is you know the next GME out there. Okay, good luck, good luck. I'm sure they're gonna try to promote it. They're gonna push it out to the algorithm everywhere, buy their traffic, to try to lure more people in. Okay, so yeah, and in the meantime, they get to bash GameStop too. GameStop, investor in and of itself. Um, again, that's why I'm saying, like, now they're just personally attacking Moran's, and uh, as an investor, that really you can't say anything about the company anymore. You have to attack the investor. So to me, that's sad. That's pretty sad. A sad state of affair, for sure. And again, that confirms to me that I'm right about GameStop. Just a confirmation, you guys. I know, again, price point why, it's pretty boring. And again, the reason why they do this is to drown out the boredom in people. The less people talk about this, the better for them to try to quietly close their position, as best they can. So, but yeah, in the meantime, if you see the value of this company, there's no reason for you to be scared at all. Yeah. So I mean, these are like level of supports here. I'm just looking at the the previously interacted ones here. Most liquidity, I think it's right here. So if it falls from here, then yes, 20 or 15. That'd be crazy if it's $15. They'll try to get it as low as they can. But keep in mind, though, remember when people are like, I wish I got it at $10? You have less equity here than it is now. Okay, so let me say that again. This particular point in the company history, this is riskier than it is here. Plus, you have more equity now. You have more equity now. Over here, it's 50%. Okay. Now, you get 90% equity. Okay. Crazy. You'd be crazy. For those of you who think that, who thought, oh, I wish I got it at $10. Yeah, now it's your chance. You have a better price to equity here than here, and yet people still think it's overvalued. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the stupidity of people? Or maybe I'm the stupid one. I don't know. Maybe I'm the dumb one. People. But anyway, so if you were to hold it right here, then you've got the company for free. That makes sense? If you buy it from here and you hold it until now, your equity grows. Okay, so you got the company for free because this valuation grows double this, more than double actually. So that is also a testament to long-term shareholder. People who held didn't sell here, right? Yes, had you sell at the top over here, you would have gotten what, 8 times your money, right? Assuming you catch the top. But anyway, when you buy a company, yeah, you want to give it some time to appreciate in value because you don't know where the value is going to be 10 years from now. Can you? Can you predict 10 years from now where GME is going to be? Yeah, silence. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Nobody can, you guys. Nobody can. Anyway, you guys, I hope you're still awake, but I think I'm close to the end of the show. Power pack. I have not get any, invite yet. So maybe because I'm not, PSA person, I don't, submit any PSA card. But I've seen a lot of people open up their packs and yes, get a lot of hits out there. So I'm, enjoying all of the um, people, really getting into this type of gambling situation here. Oh man, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Crazy. And then, yes, dark pool activity and all that stuff. And apparently, there are some Chicago one. And again, anytime people see Chicago, people think it's Growing Kitty. Who knows? Could be a fake out too. Who knows? Yes, earnings is in a couple of days here. Tuesdays. That'd be great. I'm so excited for that. And then you have this institutional ownership increasing slowly. They're not alerting anyone yet. Whoever got in at this price, they haven't sold. Even for the last 3 months or so. I think they're preparing for a better, increase in income and all that stuff. So, oh, so I had less than this now, so a little less, but I'm trying to build it back up. I'm trying to get a less right here cost average. Okay, that's my goal. To get it less than $30. So sure, but even for here, like if I want to dump everything right now from what I have in crypto, I probably could do that. But I'm waiting on them to smack the price down. You know, because of good earnings. Yeah, make it make sense. Okay, so I will let you guys go. I'm gonna play a few songs on my way out. Truly appreciate all of you. Yeah, listening in. Hopefully you learned something new. It's just my opinion, you guys. Like, kind of falling asleep most of the time. But anyway, so thank you so much for joining, and let's go.
GameStop stands out from the rest, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Bitcoin soaring high, Ryan Cohen leading the way, working for free, investing his own pay. The media scoffs and sneers, underestimating his power to steer, but watch as he turns the tide with determination on his side. They doubted his disability, but he's proven them wrong with humility, buying shares with his own hands, transforming GameStop's lens. The skeptics may doubt and jeer, but Ryan Cohen has no fear. He'll show the world what he can do and lead GameStop to something new. So raise a Glen to the underdog, for he will rise above the fog, with iron in his heart and fire in his soul. Ryan Cohen will reach his goal. GameStop is different, that much is clear. With Ryan Cohen at the helm, there's nothing to fear. So let the media laugh and sneer, for GameStop's future is bright and walls of screens, numbers flashing bright, GameStop rising, Bitcoin taking flight, no smoke and mirrors, just pure market might. We're changing the game day and night. They said we couldn't, but we're proving them wrong. Together we're building a financial song. No hype, no lies, just genuine worth. We're shaking the system, giving birth to a diamond hands revolution, breaking free from their institution. GameStop Bitcoin leading the way. We're here to stay. From retail shelves to digital gold, a new era story being told. No suits can stop this tidal wave. We're riding history, brave and brave. They laughed at first, but now they see the power of our community. No flash in the pan, we're here to last. We're writing the rules of the financial past. To a diamond hands revolution, breaking free from their institution. GameStop Bitcoin Oh baby, Gamestop got that glow, turning heads with profits steady slow. From losses to wins, Q1 flip the show. Net income rising like a rocket go. Ryan Cohen, yeah, he's the king on the throne. Chewy founder turned this beast to gold. Visionary moves, got big money moan. Had the CEO dream, bolding on control. New partnership with DSA, so fight trading collectibles in 1 million line. Digital power packs open online. Pokemon to sports fortune shine. GameStop, so sexy.